There are people around Australia and the world listening to what is essentially a white whale that could be Migaloo on the beach. Now, what I will point out is that through footage, like you're seeing right now, there are some key things that have been incredibly helpful for myself and the team, the White Whale Research Centre, which has essentially worked together to try and assess as much information as we have as possible. So I'm talking experts like Dr. Wally Franklin, we've got Oscar Peterson, the founder of Migaloo, the White Whale Research Centre. We've got Jodie Lowe and also we've got Lee Mansfield and myself to try and figure out a very conservative but a very important way to best inform the public. And so some of the key features that we're seeing on this white individual is very much interesting. And so I will point out the footage that, at least the photo you've just seen, appears to have barnacles on the throat of the whale. So in this picture you can see right now, you might be able to see there's the pectoral flipper, also known as the arm of the whale. On top of that, there seems to be a bit of darkened skin. And now this shot is key. What you can see here are barnacles on the throat, and underneath those is very much darkened skin. So what we've come to not 100% conclusion right now. This is very much a developing story, but this could potentially be another whale and not Migaloo. Genetic testing will essentially tell us 100% if this is Migaloo or not. But at this stage, the team and I have worked on an initial assessment. We're not in the field, just based on what we're seeing is that it's most likely it's not what everyone's really worried, but it seems to be most likely a white whale, or at least a whale that has been a darker pigmentation that potentially has passed out at sea and washed ashore and be weathered over time. Because when you can see the barnacles attached to that black area there, that indicates that was external skin, because we have barnacles on the outer layer of these animals. They're little hitchhikers. And so we're piecing together the puzzle. But it seems that at this stage, and without genetic testing, it is probably around over 50% not likely Migaloo. But I will edge with caution, we need genetic testing, because fortunately we have genetics of Migaloo to determine, in fact, that he was a he whale, or he is a he whale. So watch this space. And some people are commenting saying, well, that's a pretty good looking whale that has been weathered over time. Usually we see animals like this that are more, got more bruises and cuts, but often the White Whale Research Centre gets calls saying from pilots, we've got a white whale that's floating in the middle of the ocean, and over time these animals can pass and their bodies weather, the sun exposure, their skin can come off. I mean, even if you feel whale skin, the first bit, the coloration of the darkened skin on most normal non-Migaloo whales, it can come off quite easily. You can visually see it, and that's the point I'm trying to make. So it's a working, developing story, but authorities need to get back down there to measure the whale, because we know roughly the size of Migaloo, and to look at its genital area to see if it's a boy or a girl, which will help us out.
Oh, definitely. That certainly will tell us a lot, wouldn't it? But what else can scientists find out from the carcass of a whale? I mean, it's very sad that this whale, has died and washed up, but we also benefit from this in a scientific way as well.
Absolutely. So any individual passing is a really sad thing, but we have to have something positive come out of this. So regardless if this is Migaloo or another whale, a stranded whale like this is a huge contribution to science. So if you're watching this at home going, this is devastating, there is something that us as humans can take away from this in terms of learning more about whales, because often we don't have a whale wash up in an area that can be accessible for science. So in this case, a necropsy will be undertaken, and your listeners or your viewers are probably like, what's a necropsy? It's an animal autopsy. And so measurements and samples, genetics will be taken from this individual by the appropriate authorities. So it's really important for the general public not to approach the animal, because this animal could carry a number of diseases that could be problematic for you. And also, it's really important to note that if you have an animal like this on a beach, 40,000 kilograms potentially of blubber and whale that could naturally, as it's decomposing, leak juices into the area, which would bring upon other animals that are part of the natural ecosystem, like sharks, to help break down this animal over time. So it's safety first for humans, but also an opportunity for us in the science world to learn more about whales.
Okay, Vanessa, I don't know where we would be without you, but thank you so much for explaining to us all of this. And we wait with bated breath the genetic tests on this whale carcass that's just washed up. Vanessa Perrotta there, wildlife scientist, thank you so much.